It's showtime.
Hello and welcome to Musical Lyrical Lingo. We're your hosts, Tim
and LJ. Today and every week we will be discussing musicals, but specifically what they taught us.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
We're back! Did you miss us?
Do you know what? I am really, panicky and nervous.
I know, it has been a while. Sorry, hold on a minute. What? Executive producer just taken our snacks.
Get the nuts back there, please. Thank you.
Did you see how sneakily he did that while we were doing our intro? So we were distracted.
See, I'm back to being an amateur again. I've just hit the mic with the container of nuts. I'm so sorry. Yes, no, I've got the jitters. I'm a wee bit what am I doing?
First day nerves.
I know. And somebody has thrown out the intro script as well. 2 minutes before recording, I was like, Lauren, do you have that wee script? It's been a month. And she was like, no.
But you were the ultimate professional and you remembered it. It was just in there.
Once you remember, once you have it, you never forget it.
I know. Something like that.
See, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I genuinely don't. This could be horrendous. No. And taking a break could be the worst thing we've ever done.
No. Do you know, I have been so excited about tonight.
So have I, because I haven't talked musical theatre for a couple of weeks.
Whoa, your life must have been weird.
It's just been so sad.
Yeah, no, why did I say that? Yeah, no. Anyway, I was really excited about getting back.
Yeah,
just
me too.
Doing it
and seeing you.
I know.
And executive producer Aaron, I suppose.
Yeah.
It is hilarious. The setup is quite hilarious here tonight, isn't it?
Yeah. But we're trying something new. We're trying a couple of different things, which is just all preparation for sort of...
New year, new us, right?
New year, new us. Same podcast, just
Are you sure?
elevated.
Actually, our podcast is no longer about musicals, folks. We've decided to go into the horror movies of...
Science fiction horror movies.
Between 1930 and 1960 horror movies.
It's just that Rocky Horror you want to get back to, that's why.
No, last year, it's old now, we don't even talk about it anymore. You've got a camera in front of us, and a big light that's really hurting my eyes.
Oh, can you, I feel bad that it's hurting your eyes, but can you not give over?
I'm going to leave here with a splitting headache.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Also, I don't know whether, am I supposed to look at the camera or just...
No!
Okay, fine.
Just ignore it.
I kind of wish I had a mirror as well to see what it looked like, and also, anyway.
Okay, just ignore the camera. Okay. Also, we're not sure what we're going to do with the footage yet because it might be horrendous that we can't actually show.
I can guarantee it will be horrendous. I don't need to see it. I know. I mean, I didn't go into hair and makeup before recording.
No, I did
I know.
Not.
I've noticed. Don't you worry.
No.
Also, we're sitting facing a different direction. I'm like, oh, the curtain's in the background. The curtain's in the background. We're not normally sitting this way, and. Here is the biggest issue I have.
I know, it is weird.
You're on the wrong side of me.
I know. Isn't it weird what you can get used to? Because right now I'm like, why am I on this side? I feel very squashed.
I think it's adding to my nerves and my jitters.
Maybe it was a lot to try and do all of these changes at once.
Just saying, if the first episode of 2024 goes to pot, it's all your fault because you were sitting on the wrong side.
Okay, I'll take the blame.
Anyway, shall we cheers to the new year? With our new wine glasses that have musical lyrical lingo on them.
I mean, aren't they adorable?
Santa was very good.
Oh, they are just the cutest.
Very good. We can't change your logo now, by the way.
No, I know. I noticed that. Also, because this is... Oh, sorry, I just
turn it the wrong way. The camera's here for a reason. So the people have to see the logo on the glass.
I was just wanting to admire it myself. Speaking of logos on things, our merchandise has launched.
I just think it's hilarious that we have merchandise. Yeah. Now, when we mentioned it at the end of last year, last season?
Yes,
Is that what you call a group of episodes?
Yeah.
a season.
Yeah.
So we're now in season 2 now.
Yeah.
How
if
are
we're
we
talking
in season
musical
2?
terms, we're on the revival. This is a
The
revival.
Oh,
Yeah.
see what you did there.
Podcasts were seasons.
We'll see. We could be getting our final nose.
No, stop it.
Okay, anyway, so at the end of last year, we kind of jested and laughed about maybe getting T-shirts printed and stuff, but you can now actually get T-shirts printed.
You can get T-shirts printed with just our logo if you want that. You can also get a mug. You can get T-shirts or hoodies or jumpers done with some of, our favourite episodes, some of sayings.
Some of the favourite clangers that we came out with last year.
So
I am telling you now, Elphaba is going to fly off the shelf. I think that will. I'm putting it out there now. I think that's going to be a top seller.
It did. Whenever I put out a poll, it did come out. So we have partnered with T-Mill, which the reason we chose them is they are all about looking after the environment and reusable products. So we thought we would go with them.
Happy days.
And yeah, the link is on our Instagram. So please go to our Instagram, which is Lyrical Lingo. Go to the bio and click on the link.
And if you ever are so good to buy some of our merchandise, will you take a wee picture of you wearing it and send it to us?
Absolutely.
Just so we can have a wee tear in our eye and cry and go, oh, we've made it. We've got merchandise, Lord. Anyway. New year, new episode.
I know.
It's been very difficult to choose
what to come back with.
Musical to come back with, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we chose a good one though.
I think so. Well, it's definitely a favourite of mine.
And mine.
Good.
Yeah.
And it's a Disney.
It is a Disney.
Which fits in perfectly.
Hi.
Because I took a wee day trip to Dublin.
Did you?
During the Christmas period. You know that lull in between?
Yeah.
Basically just to go to the Disney store. Because sure, didn't they close all the Disney stores down...
here.
In the north.
Yeah.
As they would say. So went to the Disney
did you get anything
store.
Nice?
Of course not. When do you ever get anything in the Disney store? You just go, have a wee walk around and then leave again. And life is complete. What would I be back? What do I need to buy?
I've bought loads of stuff. I've bought notebooks, I've bought teddy bears, I've bought bags, I've bought costumes, I've bought...
Well, we all know you like to dress up as a wee Disney princess, Lauren.
Yeah.
So do I. Okay. Anyway, so this week's musical is a Disney, and it's been a long time since a Disney musical has appeared on this podcast. Right back in season 2 was the last, or season 1 was the last time we did a Disney. So what Disney are we doing this time?
We are doing Mary Poppins.
Practically perfect.
Yeah.
In every way.
And it's quite good because it came out exactly 20 years ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, it came out in 2004.
I didn't know that.
Did you not?
Well, I mean, clearly your research is much better than mine.
But yeah, so, I mean, we're in 2024. It came out in 2004. So...
Very good.
There we go.
Excellent. Well, will I do the background to this?
You do a wee bit, and I'll,
You dip in,
I'll
dip out. Brilliant. Yep. Okay. So, Mary Poppins, we actually have the Australian-born author P.L. Travers to thank for it. She produced a series of books about a nanny called Mary Poppins from 1934 to 1988. Mary Poppins, a severe haughty, I love that word, haughty.
Haughty?
A haughty nanny who had magical powers to make life better for those around her. Now, Hollywood producer Walt Disney had a bit of a fight on his hands. And if you've ever watched the fantastic movie Saving Mr. Banks, it has to be up there with one of my favourite movies of all time.
Absolutely.
It depicts this whole story, this whole battle he had on his hands to obtain the rights from Travers. He first approached her in 1938, but he didn't obtain the rights until 1961. She was one strong lady who stood by her guns and refused to relinquish.
Yeah, I think that's a nice way of putting it.
Absolutely. Oh, she cared so much. Or would you have been a bit harsher?
Yeah, I don't think she was the easiest woman to work with.
No, but I suppose if it's your creation, you're very protective over it. And she didn't trust Walt Disney?
No.
At all,
No.
did she? For the score, Disney turned to his staff composers and songwriting brothers, Richard and Robert Sherman, who they've done loads of Disney's. Now, the problem Travers and Disney had was that really she clashed over many of the aspects of the movie's production. Including, she didn't like the Sherman Brothers' original songs at all. She also didn't like that they had kind of softened Mary Poppins' character. And most particularly, top of her list of things she hated was the use of animation.
She hated that. So she had originally only agreed to meet Disney whenever he promised that it wouldn't be animation. So whenever she actually got to LA and she figured out that one scene was going to have animation in it, she flipped her lid.
He lied!
And, you know, Disney technically didn't lie because Mary was never animated. There was just animation in the film.
He's playing that one. Apparently, Disney actually snubbed Travers at the movie premiere. So then she became very vocal with her objections to the film, which scuppered any plans for Disney to actually make a movie sequel.
That's right.
Travers also stipulated that no one associated with Disney, the Disney movie, could ever be involved in developing the stage musical.
Yeah.
So step forward, Mr. Cameron Mackintosh then. So it wasn't until 40 years later that a version produced by Cameron Mackintosh was launched, going on to captivate audiences worldwide. He met Travers, Cameron Mackintosh, in 1993. However, it wasn't until 2001 when he met Thomas Schumacher, the head of Disney Theatrical, that Mary really started to fly onto the stage.
Oh, I like what you did there.
Thank you. I have a way with words, darling.
Yeah, and also at that meeting with PL Travers and Mackintosh, so she did agree to give him the rights, but it was stipulated there as long as nobody who was involved in the original film would be involved, and so much so she even stipulated that in her last will and testimony.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Good on her. Do you know what? I respect her. I respected her in the Saving Mr. Banks film as well. Yeah. No, I was definitely on the side of Pamela Travers. Oh. Isn't it Pamela? Yeah. It is Pamela, yeah. No.
That was just her pen name, though.
Wasn't it Emma Thompson played her? Oh my goodness. The two of them, Emma Thompson and then Tom Hanks, who played Walt Disney.
Yeah, it's a brilliant film.
Superb.
Yeah. Go
and watch it, folks, if you haven't seen it. I know we're here to talk about musicals, but literally... Yeah. You can't talk about Mary Poppins without that background story. Then, of course, Cameron Mackintosh brought on British songwriters George Stiles and Anthony Drew, who I love.
They are great, and the reason that Mackintosh said yes to them, I don't know if you know this, was because they wrote the song practically perfect.
Yeah, independent of any show.
Yeah, and Mackintosh was able to see that it sounded just like a Sherman Brothers, and no changes were made. So what they wrote and what they sort of additioned with to Mackintosh is what you hear now.
That's it. So yeah, practically perfect went in as was, and then they were hard to augment the rest of the score. Yeah, the show opened in the London Prince Edward Theatre in 2004 and had a long run on Broadway and continues to be staged around the world. Like it's never not on stage somewhere in the world. The musical script, which I think also is a real plus for the musical, it was written by the wonderful Julian Fellows of Downton Abbey fame.
And Gilded Age, have you watched it?
I don't, but I have recorded the first couple of episodes. I'm so ready.
We love it.
Yeah.
Bless
I'm looking forward to it. Aaron, have you got the sniffles? You know what you need? You need some medicine, spoonful of sugar, have some medicine, go down. Oh God, I've been away from this for far too long, folks.
Did you know that George Stiles wrote Betty Blue Eyes?
Yes.
Honk.
Yes.
Peter Pan, and one of your favourites?
Yes, Half a Sixpence. I know, like literally, they're probably up there with one of my favourite composers. Like, I love Betty Blue Eyes, and it was only on for a very short amount of time.
Wasn't it?
We maybe shouldn't talk about it too much, because I do think we should do an episode on it sometime, because as a musical, it's just so fantastic. And I love Honk. Like, Honk has a wee place in our heart, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we will definitely have to do a wee Styles and Drew.
Yes, definitely episode.
Maybe a couple this year. Because we didn't touch upon them last year, I don't think. No. So, yeah, it was directed by Richard Eyre. With this musical has so much going for it, in my opinion. It goes tick, tick, tick.
Yeah.
Because Richard Eyre directed it, but he there was co-direction from Matthew Bourne.
Yes.
Of New Adventures, like dance company.
Yep.
Love him. He's one of my favourite choreographers. He also co-choreographed it with another one of my favourite choreographers, Stephen Mayer.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just like, all these people involved are proper ace.
Yeah.
Like, amazing. Like, a perfect creative team. The original production won 2 Olivier's for Best Actress for Laura Michelle Kelly and Best Choreographer, shock horror, with those two involved. Yeah. And then the Broadway production had nearly the identical creative team, and it opened in November 2006 and received 7 Tony nominations. Which,
as we know from doing this podcast, is quite a lot of
huge.
Tony.
It's a huge amount.
Noms. It won Best Scenic Design, though.
Yeah, because... You've seen it, have you? That idea of, so like Cherry Tree Lane, it's almost like Dollhouse. It opens up, doesn't it, at one point, and it's just like, oh my goodness, how did they do that? Like, the outside opens up and it becomes the inside house. It's stunning.
Yeah, I also think
totally stunning.
Should have probably won for costumes.
Yeah, I agree.
As well. Costumes, I do have a point about that. They really tried to show like sharp colours for Mary.
Yeah.
But also the costumes needed to reflect old school versus new school.
Yep.
So it was like set at the turn of the century, where it was going from Victorian into Edwardian, and I just love the costumes, how beautiful they are, and they do tell a story. You could watch it in mute, no sound, and you could know exactly where they're set, like in London.
And that's one of my favourite parts of the show as well, is at the beginning of Jolly Holiday, like everything's grey, like all the costumes are dark and grey and dreary, and then mid-number, all of a sudden, all of the costumes are bright and striped and polka dot and vibrant colours, and to get that into one number is just genius. Genius direction and genius choreography or costume design.
The creative team were just like a match made in heaven.
Perfect.
They just all worked and understood and knew what they needed to put on stage for people to love it and come back and want to have a real love for it.
It is brilliant though. Totally. I would say it's definitely up there with the best Disney production.
I would say so. Though whenever it was first put on stage, it was too scary, and it was banned for anybody under the age of 3.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. The only scary bit I can remember is that weird bit in the nursery when all the toys come alive, which, I mean... I could do without,
Really?
Oh yeah, like you could take that out of it and it wouldn't offend me. Like, I didn't dislike it, but I'm like going, okay, fair enough.
No, you need that.
Do you?
Yeah, okay. I feel like you need that. Yeah, no, that bit is scary. All the toys come alive and put Jane and Michael on trial.
Yeah, like, we already know that Jane and Michael are wee brats, like.
Mm-hmm. But I think they're definitely depicted as those selfish, bratty sort of children in the stage compared to the movie.
So much clearer on this. Yeah. I think a lot of things are much clearer in the stage version.
Yeah, because that was also one of Macintosh's commitments to P.L. Travers, that he would focus more on the books. He wouldn't put on a stage version of the film.
Yeah. That was, I'm glad there was no dancing penguins anywhere in sight. Although the dancing penguins are great in the film.
Oh yeah, that works for that.
Just wouldn't work on stage.
Well...
Any other background knowledge, or if we kind of covered it?
Yeah, that's all the background knowledge. Though I will say, because it's me, there is a really good educational series about the making of Mary Poppins. If anybody wants to watch a wee documentary.
Lauren, I don't know how you have the time to watch all these documentaries. I really don't.
But
let's do a documentary number check this year. How many will you mention? So, folks, episode 1, documentary count 1.
Executive producer can keep that tally. So it is Gavin.
He's so excited. Like, literally, it's a shame the camera's not pointing the other direction. He's currently sitting like this. Filling us with lots of confidence, isn't he? I mean, I kind of just feel he's looking at us going, they're shite. They've lost it.
I have they?
He's actually doing work. He's not even doing work for us. He's doing work.
It's Gavin Creel, who played Bert in the original Broadway production.
Yeah.
He is taking it through. It's only a 10-part educational series behind the scenes. And it's on YouTube, and I would recommend it to anybody.
10 parts? How long is each part?
They're only about 4 or 5 minutes each.
Oh, right, okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Very good. He was the original Bert in London as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, very good. He's fantastic. He's great. He was great as Squidward in the original SpongeBob? Yeah, I'm almost sure he was.
Okay.
Is Squidward the one with multiple legs?
Yes.
Yeah.
The squid.
I've not ever watched SpongeBob.
Okay.
Not quite at my intellectual level.
Okay.
A sponge and a starfish.
Too high for you.
Okay, shut up and do your work.
Okay, what about...
Shall we move on to the most exciting bit? Our lyrical lingo.
Yeah, what were...
Do you want to go first? Okay. I feel like I've done, like, taken over your background. I mean, I'm done, to be fair. I'm ready to sit back, put my feet up and drink my coffee.
Okay. Well, I just took musical lyrical lingos just from the stage show.
I think I did the same.
Okay. But
I might not.
Okay. So in Cherry Tree Lane, he says, I'm feeling so bereft.
I'm feeling so bereft,
dear. And that word means deprived or robbed of or sort of lacking something.
Do you feel bereft, love?
No.
Glad to hear.
No. Also, he mentions govern. Now, I knew a governess sort of from Sound of Music, but just that a govern really has control or influence, and just the way he uses it made more sense to me about the influence. You know, somebody who can be there, especially in those early and formative years. Yeah. Influencing how you're going to deal with the outside world. Yeah. Whenever you're older.
There would have been a lot of them about in those times, wouldn't there?
Yeah.
His language is very of the time, isn't it, as well? He says, a nanny is a paragon who suffers no fool. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know what a paragon was. That's a person or thing regarded as a perfect example of a particular quality.
Yeah.
Paragon. I would say we're paragons.
Of course.
Why are you laughing?
Somebody sniggered there. But I like how at this point he's talking about what a governess should do, what a nanny should do, and we at this point have not met
his old nanny, yeah.
But by the end of the musical, we will meet his old nanny, and really, he shouldn't be having those feelings like that. A nanny is wonderful.
She is certainly not a paragon. Let me tell you. In Cherry Tree Lane, it is one of my favourite lines in the show. I love the line he says, Winifred, never confuse efficiency with a liver complaint. I love that line.
I know, because I do feel sorry for Mrs. Banks, because she... And I like that about the stage musical, is that they give her a song where you can kind of feel that angst where she doesn't know, like, should she just be looking after the children? Should she be finding something to do that is just hers? You know, she's proud of the fact that she has a name, but that name is her husband's. Yeah,
that's true. And it's weird, the move from, I know we're based on our musical lyrical lingos on the musical, but it is bizarre. The change from Mrs. Banks in the film, where so much of her character was about her being a suffragette, and her song was based on being a suffragette, and that isn't even mentioned. Like, it's not even mentioned in the stage show. I wonder why that was. Was that a Walt Disney political thing at the time to throw it into the film?
I think so, and also a real reason as why the mum was not at home.
Fine. Okay. Yes, I understand.
Why there was the need for the nanny.
Okay. But most well-to-do family households would have had a nanny regardless of...
I know.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
No, but I just thought that was interesting. But if it was a political stamp that Walt Disney was trying to put in this film, then I understand why it's not in the musical.
In Perfect Nanny...
Yeah.
Where they sing, so Jane and Michael have created the perfect nanny that they think would be best.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted my 2 children to sing that song.
Oh.
But they're just at that age.
They could still get away with it, the age you're at now.
I'd really wanted them to do it for the Christmas talent show, but...
And did they not? Why did they not do it?
They practiced it, but it just wasn't good enough, so...
Says you, or did they say... Oh, fair enough.
Said them.
You were like, no, it's awful. No. You're not doing that.
No.
Poor children.
No, I'm not like that. So they say, never feed us castor oil.
Or grill.
Yeah, so castor oil. Do you know what castor oil is?
I know I didn't. It was one of my musical lyrical lingos too, but I will let you tell the listeners.
So castor oil is meant to have health properties. So back then, a lot of people would have used it because it was helpful for dentures. It was a laxative.
I was going to say, when you mentioned dentures, I was like, clearly we went to 2 totally separate sources, because you got dentures, I got laxatives. I'm like going...
But actually, castor oil is back again as this big health craze where you're meant to put it in your... You're meant to put it on your stomach, but the best place to put it is your belly button.
In your belly button?
In your belly button. Because it's meant to... You're meant to put like a little bit in your belly button, and then it's meant to go inside and then help your insides.
And is that a New Year's resolution?
I haven't tried it.
You're filling your belly button
but I'm
with castor
telling
oil?
you, it is. You know, in January, like, especially social media and all that, it's all like, new me. Like, new year, new me.
Such
like, let's go, the new, like, diet fad, and this will really help you. And DM me if you want to know how I went from this to this. Castor oil is all over.
It's all the rage, is it?
It's all the rage.
I've missed those posts, to be quite honest with you. I love in Perfect Nanny the endless naughty ideas that you could use against your enemies. Mm-hmm. Hide spectacles, hide toads in your bed, pepper in your tea. Those wee brats talk about it all, don't they?
Which means they must have done a fair few.
Well, sure, that's the point. They can't keep a nanny, can they? They all keep leaving.
Do you ever do, like, mischievous tricks like that?
Are you joking? I was an angel. Always have been, always will be. Anyway, shall we move on quickly before you can say anything else? In
Cherry Tree Lane 2.
Part 2. So good they named a second.
Okay. He says... Tommy Rot.
Yes, and I just used Tommy Rot there when you were talking about your castor oil. Did you notice?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, you see, slipped it in. Because Tommy Rot was one of my musical lyrical lingos.
Utter fullness.
Nonsense and rubbish.
Yeah. So I do think we should bring this word and we should get like a little buzz, and every time you say something that is utter rubbish, we're going to go, Tommy Rot.
Because I'm the one that talks rubbish on this podcast.
Tommy Rot. Do you like if you're buzzing in like University Challenge? Tommy Rot.
You've now also deafened our listeners because you've banged the table 4 times. They'll be like listening to it and they'll go, oh.
I'm really, really pleased with that wee scenario in my head.
That insult to me. Yeah, really lovely.
Tommy Rot.
Well, practically perfect. I'm going to move on to quick, unless you've got another Cherry Tree Lane too.
No.
Practically perfect taught me that it taught me about me, and that I am practically perfect. Let me just let you hear some of the lyrics, and you and the listeners will soon realise that it is you. It is very much in keeping with me.
Okay, go.
So it goes, both prim and proper, and never too stern. Well educated, yet willing to learn. I'm clean and honest, my manners refined, and I wear shoes of a sensible kind.
Do you?
Yeah. I suffer no nonsense. I'm unique yet mild, unspeakably kind. This is my favourite line. Running like an engine that's just been freshly oiled.
Is that how you run?
If I remember to take my supplements in the morning, yes.
Put your castor oil in your belly button,
yeah. Well, I'm not telling the listeners that, but I have added that onto the list. Tommy Rot or not, I'll give anything a go. At least once, right? Is that when you hit your tummy rot button?
Tummy rot!
So yeah, Practically Perfect is about me. I'm practically perfect in every way.
She's practically perfect.
He's practically perfect. Anyway.
Okay.
Do you have anything else for us?
It talks a lot about easterly winds. So then I looked into easterly winds. You know, why are they so obsessed with it? So easterly winds is all to do with the trade winds, which allows sailors to sail across the ocean safely. So they would have been looking out for the easterly winds. Also, on the British Isles, an easterly wind equaled a cold spell.
Okay.
Like a cold spell was coming.
Because of the easterly winds.
Because of the easterly winds. I just wanted to know why they were so obsessed with it.
We've clearly had bloody easterly winds for the last 3 weeks because it's absolutely Baltic outside.
Pure winter, like, isn't it?
Pure winter.
I was real Northern Ireland.
Pure winter. Just
Pure
in case you've forgotten where we're from, listeners. Yeah. Jolly Holiday, as I said to you before, it's one of my highlights. I think in the musical, it's sublime. But one of the lyrics she sings about Bert is, gentlemen like you are few, though you're just low. You're just a diamond in the rough, Bert. Underneath your blood is blue. Blood is blue. That blood is blue confused me a bit.
Okay.
It's the term blood is blue means membership in a royal or socially important family, and then it all came back to me. I went, oh, watch The Crown, blue blood, get you. Yeah. I just went, but the blue, your blood's not blue.
Mm. And diamond in the rough always makes me think of Aladdin.
Oh yeah, just a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, diamond in the rough.
Yeah, very good. Forbearance is the hallmark of your creed. Is also in Jolly Holiday. I didn't really know what any of those words meant. Forbearance is self-control or patience. Yeah. And then hallmark is your most typical quality or feature.
Oh.
So, I mean, forbearance is the hallmark of my creed, to be fair. I think I'm rather self-controlled and patient.
And practically perfect.
As we've mentioned.
Yeah.
Previous.
Anything else? Are you still on Jolly Holiday?
Yeah, because I love it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Jolly Holiday in the musical is where we are first introduced to Nelius, the statue.
Yes.
So in the park, there's the statue of this character, Nelius, and then he comes alive and he sings and dances with Mary, and it's a wonderful moment.
It is.
I didn't really know who Nelius was. Now, to be fair, I'm not a big fan of like mythical kind of like ancient Greece.
Yeah.
Tommy rot. So
mythology.
I think Nelius is the mythical son of Poseidon, is that right? And Poseidon is like your man out of Little Mermaid, isn't he?
No, that's
the king of Triton. He's Triton. He's someone totally different, is he?
Yeah.
So what's the difference between Triton and Poseidon?
Poseidon is the king of the ocean. But
no.
Yes.
No, we're getting a shake here from...
Poseidon is... What?
Is he not a god?
Oh, sorry, God. Sorry. Yes, and King Triton is a king.
Oh, you see, I'm lost.
See, I was in my head there, but yeah. Also,
well, you know more than me.
I always need somebody to say Poseidon, because I always think it is...
Poseidon.
Yes, I love it. This is also what I'm looking forward to this year. How many words can Lauren say that make no sense whatsoever?
And the problem is, I love Greek mythology, and I read 2 full Stephen Fry books about Greek mythology, and then I was watching University Challenge, and somebody said Poseidon. No, I see now it's Poseidon, and I was like, oh, is that how you say that out loud?
So you were reading the whole book as Poseidon?
Yeah.
I think we'd do an episode. It's got nothing to do with musicals, but an episode just on how you say the mythical creatures, characters, whatever they're called, gods, kings.
Just gotta read a chapter of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, next week.
Okay. One might be coming up.
Just a spoonful of sugar.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Does help the medicine go down.
It does.
And there is a reason for that song. Do you know the backstory of that?
It's because the Sherman Brothers children couldn't take their medicine.
Well, interestingly, the Sherman Brothers wrote a beautiful ballad for Mary called Through the Eyes of Love, right? But when Julie Andrews heard it, she let it be known that she would have preferred a more snappier number. So they recovered from their disappointment because they thought they'd written a beautiful song, and they produced a spoonful of sugar. And Sherman got his idea for the lyrics from his own children receiving their polio vaccines on a lump of sugar.
Yeah.
Clever?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. I've got something from Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound nauseous. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Okay, so the line is the Druids. Well, I'm going to say the Druids. The Druids could have carved it on their mighty monoliths.
That's right, I had this too.
Okay, so first of all, I didn't know. I thought it was Druids, but it's Druids.
I think it's the Druids. The Druids could have carved it on their mighty monolith.
Right, Druids are a high-ranking priestly class in Celtic cultures.
Yeah. No idea.
So that's who they were. And then you probably already knew what monoliths were because of your weird obsession with geography. Geological creatures? No? Did I say that wrong?
Features?
Did you say creatures?
Like massive, single massive stone or rock. A bit like mountains.
Yes.
Mountain.
But I thought they were just things that just appeared.
No, babes, because they're geological. They've been there for a long time.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. I mean, I learned from Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious how to spell it. I also learned that it had 18 consonants and 16 vowels as well, because that's another lyric in the song.
It is.
Can you spell it?
Yes, I think
Go for it. Do you want to do it? Are you up for the challenge?
Okay. Are you going to do it with me? Or do you want me to do it
I have to do it in a particular way.
You have to do it as the
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Okay. Well done.
Yes.
Well done.
I'm practically perfect in every way. Also, it sings about to leaf through lengthy lexicons to find the perfect word.
Yeah.
I didn't know what a lexicon was.
Okay.
So a lexicon is the vocabulary of a person, language, or branch of knowledge.
It's a nice word, isn't it?
It's also a really hard lyric to sing. Lots of lengthy lexicons. Yeah. Also, halitosis. Bad breath.
Yep.
Check your breath before you speak in case it's halitosis.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's loads in that song. It is a history lesson because although you've talked about the Druids, it goes through the Greeks, the Romans, it goes through everything.
It's a great number and visually it's wonderful, and the fact that they use sign language to spell out.
Yes.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
I've been lucky enough to be able to choreograph it a couple of times, and you know what? When I say a couple of times, probably about 6, 7, 8 times, right? And normally when you revisit things, you're like, oh, it's like, how many times can I do this number differently? Do you know what I mean? I will never get bored of doing that choreographing that song because it's just so fun. You did it. Well, one of the first times that you did it, and it was just magical. Oh, thanks. You know, it was really thanks very much. But it's just visually, it's great. Stunning. And the last thing I had was... I have a fun fact I've just realised. Obviously, because supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is a nonsense word. Do you know that somebody tried to sue Disney because of it, because of supercalifragilistic, because they had written a song using a nonsense word that had been published in 1951, and its writers then tried to sue Disney because of supercalifragilistic. The suit failed, obviously. What a stupid thing to try and do. But because they were like, we wrote a song using a nonsense word before you can't do that. Like, how ridiculous. Yeah, it's not like they came up with the word supercalifragilistic. Yeah, it's not even the same word, but I thought that was a bit bizarre. Odd. That was Thanks. Odd. Well, my final thing was just when Mrs. Andrews comes back, which is... Miss Andrews? Miss Andrews, which is Mr. Banks's nanny. The paragon, apparently. Who suffers no foe. And she is old, and her, even the way her headdress is done, it's like bat ears, and she is just But what a fun character to play.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. She sings Brimstone and Treacle.
Brimstone and Treacle.
So you always hear, like, Treacle's obviously like that sweet syrup, and then Brimstone, but Brimstone and Treacle actually was a BBC TV play, like, in the 60s.
Was it?
Yeah, which I didn't know about, I just learned that.
What a bizarre name for a TV series.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you know what brimstone was, though?
No.
So it was like a form of sulphur.
Yeah.
Imagine, yuck. And brimstone and treacle, so that like the sulphur and treacle or molasses was commonly used as a cure-all at a time when medicine wasn't readily available.
Yeah. So it's a bit like them taking their castor oil with sugar. But Mary Poppins is delivering it in a nicer way. She's giving them brimstone and treacle, but in a, you have to take this way.
Yeah,
so
shove it down your throat.
There's that, like, it's meant to be a comparison between...
And she also sings about carbolic soap, which is sometimes referred to as red soap, which is mildly antiseptic, containing carbolic acid, but quite rough and harsh on the skin, right?
And whenever I read that, I felt like I could smell it. So I don't know, in my head, did I maybe think it was like TCP soap or something?
Oh, right, okay.
It's probably not. But I was like,
I think it's harsher than that. Like, I don't think you would have wanted to be scrubbed by carbolic soap.
No, it doesn't sound very appealing.
No, definitely not. Is that all of your musical lyrical lingos? I've got one more, and it's my favourite number in the whole show.
Oh.
And it isn't in the film. It was one of those new songs that Stiles and Drew wrote for the musical called Anything Can Happen, and it comes right at the very end.
Yeah.
And it has one of my other favourite lines. It's basically that one of those songs that sends you out feeling good, gives you lots of morals and lessons to take away with you, and you know, inspirational words. And one of the lines in Anything Can Happen is, stretch your mind beyond fantastic, dreams are made of strong elastic. Right?
That's nice.
And I just thought, as a song, it's a real lesson in life, because it says, if you reach for the stars, all you get is the stars, but we've found a whole new spin. If you reach for the heavens, you get the stars thrown in.
Yeah. Isn't that nice?
Really beautiful. Yeah. Like, and it continues, like, go and listen to the song and listen to the lyrics, because it's brilliant. And when I did it with school, like 2 years ago, we spent so much time on that, because actually for young children, it, like,
especially at that
hearing
time,
things like that, you know, if you reach for the stars, that's all you're going to get. But if you think beyond that, who knows what can happen, and you'll still, you know, still get the stars, but you could get so much more. And I just thought, what a lovely moment, like what a lovely song, and great lyrics. Well done, Anthony Style. Which one's the lyricist? Stiles and Drew. Must be Drew. Yeah, Drew. Anthony Drew. Yeah. So there we go.
Lovely. Yeah, I think overall Mary Poppins has some life lessons which we should abide by.
That you learned from
number one is children should put themselves in their parents' shoes, which
the Banks children do in the end.
So they're very much like you were children, and like, why are you off doing this? But kids don't realise that parents are learning on the job. It's maybe the first time they've come across this situation, and they're having to deal with it really quickly, so they're making a decision.
And they don't really change until Mary Poppins shows them the struggles that their father is going through as well, and it's only when they see that they go, oh, right, okay. And the struggles of other people.
Yeah. It says no one is perfect.
Excuse me?
Nobody is perfect. Know your strengths and weaknesses and use them to be the best version of yourself.
Paragon.
I love that, though. Like, use your strengths and your weaknesses. Nobody is perfect.
Excuse me, I'm running like an engine that's just been freshly oiled.
Life can be tricky.
Yeah.
Actions have consequences. Temper. And always take time to play. So
that's why you would keep the nursery scene and song in, temper in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
For those last two.
Absolutely, because I think that it's only after that is they're the turning point. I think that their toys, you know, no longer wanting to be treated the way that they have been treated, does more for Jane and Michael than Miss Andrews coming back.
Yeah.
Or coming. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's a beautiful full circle moment, isn't it, for those Banks kids, you know. And it actually makes it really hard for it's a hard part for a young child to play, because they have to be not very nice at the beginning of the show, but then they need to mellow and they need to understand why they've mellowed and show that authentic change. It's a brilliant show. My goodness, I adore. I would never get sick of doing it or seeing it.
No, I don't think so either, because like you said, creatively it is magical and there's always something to look at. And I would say every time you go, you would spot something different that you hadn't spotted the first time.
100%, truly. Do you have memories then?
Yeah, I've got some connections. So, when it was still in the West End in 2005.
Yep.
And I had gone to uni in London, and I'd met one of our friends that we went to theatrical with, Amanda.
Oh yeah,
and she had come up, and we went to Hard Rock Cafe for dinner.
Okay.
And we had chicken wings and wine.
Classic.
We were 18 in London.
You're such a classic girl.
That was probably all we could afford.
Fair enough, yeah.
Because we just
you could afford the wine, but after the wine, all you could get your chicken wings.
We had probably spent all of our money on our Mary Poppins tickets.
And let me tell you, you'll have spent the money on the Mary Poppins tickets, because they're some of the most expensive tickets I've ever bought.
So we went to see it, and I do remember, and I didn't have a great time whenever I went away. I was very, very homesick, but that was a lovely night, and I do remember that as a real... Oh, it was just a really lovely night, but the show was magical.
Worth every penny, right?
Worth absolutely every penny, and I do think it was one of those, I'll definitely come back and see that, like, in a couple of weeks' time.
Yes.
You know, it wasn't like, I can put that to bed now, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Also, Caitlin got to be Mary Poppins.
She did.
Mum made her a gorgeous...
Yeah, I remember it.
Gorgeous Mary Poppins outfit costume, and I loved that. And then we, as a family, did the photo challenge whenever it was COVID, and we did Mary Poppins, and that's one of my favourite pictures.
Yeah. Your pictures that time were brilliant. This was during COVID, when each week as a stage go, we sent out a challenge we gave everybody the same musical, and they had to use what they had at home to create a picture of you as a character, and yours as a family were brilliant. He's sleeping. Open your eyes. Tell you what, we may put out for
a new
executive producer. Come on, stay with it. We have another podcast to do after this. Like, you're not done.
We need to get another coffee. And one other thing that I love about Mary Poppins is whenever it was my mum's funeral and we were saying something, I got loads of people to give me little snippets and things that reminded them of mum. And somebody said, well, she was the real life Mary Poppins. And I put that at the end, that she was just practically perfect. And that's how I ended the little thing. So I always have like a nice little memory of
that is lovely. That is lovely. I have memories too, I suppose. I mean, I thought in life nothing could be worse than being cast as Hansel and Gretel's father when we did Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
But when I was cast as Mr. Banks and not Bert, truly, I thought that was my career over. I was I may as well retire now. I mean,
how many times have you thought your career's over? Can we make that a tally? How many times did we think his career was over? Maybe
I'm like a phoenix that rise from the ashes. Every time, try and knock me down. I come back stronger, fighting. Yeah, but truly, I was livid.
Is it just you didn't enjoy being cast as somebody's father?
I went, hello, Bert. I am a perfect Bert. Like, I truly believe Bert is... You're looking at me going, Tommy Rod. But seriously,
I've never seen you as a Bert.
I'm being deadly serious. I see myself as a Bert. And you know, like, we all have, like, that list of, like, parts you would love to play. Genuinely, Bert's up there, and I'm running out of time. If it doesn't happen in the next year or so, that's it. I'm done.
It depends who's cast as your Mary, because as long as you're roughly around the same age, it would be okay.
Okay, I'm approaching 40 here.
Yeah, it'll be okay. I see you more as I love to laugh. Ha, 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 ha.
So you'll be looking for a new executive producer, and you'll be looking for a new podcast host. Because that is downright offensive. No, but
it's not even in the stage.
In stage school, I was cast as Mr. Banks, and I was livid. I was like, I'm not a Mr. Banks. I'm a Bert Region. I still haven't got to play Bert, but just saying. It's one of those shows that actually returns quite often in stage school. We do it every couple of years. But I still love it. So you might get a chance. Yeah, I've kind of moved on from performing in stage school now. I kind of, behind the scenes.
You should go to Sharon and say, can we do Mary Poppins? Can I please play Bert? I really need to play Bert. It's great. It's one of those ones I love when the kids aren't in. And I like, it's okay, I'll do it for this run through. I'll do it for this rehearsal. Oh, he's not in this week. What a shame. Okay, we'll do that again. It wasn't quite right. He's hiring somebody to break some P7's legs so he can go on.
Take 5 weeks off. It's fine. I'll stand in. No, but genuinely, I would love to.
Okay, somebody put on a production of Mary Poppins.
I have said this to numerous companies, hoping they'll take the bloody hint. The problem is, I don't think the rights are available yet, which is annoying. By the time the rights are available, I will be 65. I've also seen it, like the professional production, I think 3 times. And truly, it's the first production I remember going, wow, and almost like believing in magic for the first time. Because it's so magical. Like the things they do.
Yeah. Are you talking about the
magic? Everything. I'm talking about the flying. I'm talking about the tricks. Like all of the objects being pulled out of her bag. Like it's just so class. Now, I did do it in school. I now know the trick. So I too can pull lots of objects out of my bag. Okay. But just amazing. And you think you've seen the most magical bit. And then right at the very end, she flies out over the audience and disappears at the back of the auditorium. Yeah. And we all know how it works. Yeah. Wires and all the rest of it. Truly, I can say I could not see a wire in sight when she did that last ascent.
Because it has to be real.
Well, I think it was real. I'm not joking you. And the last time I saw it, I sat in the grand circle, expensive seats, in the front row, and literally I could have touched the heel of her boot. Like she was so close as she zoomed past my head.
Wow. In her sensible shoes?
In her and beautiful feet. Like she had her feet turned out into second position as Mary Poppins does, and she had her toes slightly pointed up to the sky, so it was really just the heels that were pointing down. I was like, wow. And that was Zizi Strallen, and she was stunning. I've also seen her sister Scarlett Strallen play Mary Poppins. She was also stunning.
They're just a great family.
Oh my goodness, wows. Yeah, but I absolutely loved it. Yeah, there we go.
Good. Any standing ovations?
I think I mentioned them throughout. I love, anything can happen. I love that. And that finale, that final flight, that final flight out. It's an emotional wee show.
Yeah, and I like that in the stage show they give Mary those 4 lines just to sort of sing, like the reprise of Spoonful of Sugar.
Yeah.
They sort of give her a little bit, they add a little bit to her character where she says, and at the end of every job, there is a little bit of I'm leaving, but that's what has to be done, and on we go, I just like it, yeah.
I thought Zizi Strallen and Charlie Stemp were outstanding as the Mary Poppins and Bert combo the last time I saw it. That they were the perfect musical theatre pair. You see, if somebody would do it, I could be Bert, you could be Mary Poppins.
Oh, yeah.
Or I could just do both, I suppose. Practically perfect into Step in Time. I could do just
half Mary Poppins, half Bert. Step in Time is definitely one of my standing ovations because of the way that's done. And I don't want to give too much away in case somebody doesn't see it.
Over the rooftop, brilliant time.
It's good.
Walt Disney also was quite emotional about it. and he became very attached to one song in particular. Do you know what it was? Feed the Birds.
Oh.
Interestingly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. To the point that he often broke off meetings early just so that Richard Sherman could sit down at the piano and play for him.
Really?
Yes. And then when Walt Disney died, Sherman would often go back to his old office and play the song, and he was playing it for Disney, playing it for Walt.
Oh.
I know.
Oh, that's really sad.
But quite beautiful as well.
Yeah. Oh.
Even Honey's moaning in the background there.
No, she's finding that sad.
Yeah.
Oh.
There we go.
Well, that was good, and a good first one back, and we made it through.
We made it through in one piece.
And it was fun. It was really fun.
Some would say
we were practically perfect.
Oh, I am. I know.
No, we were. Like, you actually can't say that. You keep going, I am. We were practically perfect.
Some people have their moments.
You're going to get punched in the face.
Right. Well, now, Mary Poppins wouldn't be saying that now, would she? You're going to get punched in the face.
Okay. All right.
It's been too long. I've enjoyed myself.
I know, it's been good.
Good.
I think we'll come back with a new musical next week.
Yes, and I think Aaron's also woken up again.
Well, let's hope.
Because he likes the next musical.
Yeah, he does like that. What are we doing this year? Are we giving clues or not?
I was waiting for this rant. I was afraid to ask the question myself. I mean, to be honest with you, you do what you do you.
No, we're not going to do clues.
Not doing clues.
But see, now you sound disappointed. So
I've always been disappointed. Or we could do like the emoji clue. Like send out the musical only in emojis and see if people could guess it.
But how does that help right now?
Well, it doesn't. We obviously wouldn't give clues on the podcast, but we might put it on our social media. You know, all these other platforms we're now on.
Gonna make an emoji of you. Right. Next week we are doing another musical from the year 2004. 2003, 2004.
Well, now that narrows it down.
And this one we've spoken about in the past because there was a little bit of controversy around the 2004 Tonys. I'm going to leave it at that.
So you've just given a clue.
Yeah, I know. What you going to do?
I give up.
I make the rules.
I'm sure you've missed us, right, listeners? I'm sure you have missed us. We should try and not bicker as much this year.
We don't bicker anyway.
No, we don't. That's right.
We don't
We
bicker.
agree on everything.
Well, no, if we agreed on everything, it would be very boring, and
Yes.
that would not be our friendship.
And that is very true. We've realised that actually that's what the listeners like most about our podcast. It's not the wealth of our knowledge. It's actually just when we disagree.
Yes, we should just keep disagreeing.
We know our strengths, folks.
Yeah.
We know our strengths.
We'll play to them.
Yeah. Until next week then. Bye.